What was one of your most memorable Christmases?
Well, in fact, it was before I really have much recollection of anything, but it's from the things that I had heard. My mother and father had gone to Canada they were up there for about 13 years, and that's where I was born. And I was probably a year and 9 months old.
So that would have been...
Well, that was in 1925, Christmas. My mother had been wanting to come back to Salt Lake and to bring my dad back to Salt Lake before he passed away. He did die of cancer at a young age. And she was wanted so badly to get back down to Salt Lake. By then, she had 6 kids.
So he was ill at the time?
Yeah, two of us. Two of the girls, older girls, my older sisters were born in Salt Lake and one boy, and then she had the other 4, I think, up in Canada. We were all born up in Canada, the rest of us. And she wants so badly to get back to Salt Lake because she wanted Jim to be buried here. Her Jim, that was my dad. And never had the money. They just were very, very poor. And never did have the money. So my Aunt Frances, who was my dad's sister, bless her soul, she had the best heart. She had a carnival. She had all kinds of money-raising things. She made things that she sold.
I didn't know that.
And
I didn't either.
she raised enough money for my mother and dad to bring their 6 kids on the train to Salt Lake. And she did all that here. I mean, she was just like a relief society of her own, having these fundraisers to get us back to Salt Lake.
That is really amazing.
So we arrived in Salt Lake on Christmas Eve in 1925, I guess it was.
Wow.
And not only had she arranged to have us come down, but she also had rented a house just across the street from hers on 7th Avenue between E and F Street. Rented the house, and the family said when they went in there was a Christmas tree and presents around the tree for all of us, all 6 of us kids. And so that is a Christmas that I remember the most because of them telling me about it, but I don't remember it.
And what that meant is so much. Had she not done that, you may have never
We
left
may
Canada.
never have got back to Salt Lake.
And had you not done that, you'd have never met Dad.
That's true. Well, I wouldn't have you kids. Anyway, she arrived here on Christmas Eve, and I think my dad died on about the 22nd of January.
Wow.
And I wasn't 2 years old until March, so I was pretty young. So I don't remember my father either at all. We had struggles just like he did with the family during those times. We were all poor. My mother had 6 kids to raise all by herself. She didn't have anyone to support her. She had to go out to work. And 2 older sisters went out to work to help support the rest of us kids, and until the older one got sick and had to come home and tend to all the rest of the kids while my mother and other sister worked. And so we had a lot of poor Christmases. And I remember hanging our sock over the back of a chair to have and boy, we'd rush out to that. We each had our assigned chair lined up in the living room, and our sock, we'd rush out there Christmas morning to see what Santa Claus had brought us. And I remember one time I wanted a sled so bad. And, they were those fancy flexible flyers, some of them. But I remember going out, and there's the sled. It was painted, I think, apple green. I thought, how come my sled's apple green and everybody else's is a flexible flyer? I wondered about those things. I didn't really understand that people were helping us, and we had to take used things for gifts, and that's why. And there were other things. I remember when I get my first bicycle was painted and all. I think that one was blue, just painted an odd blue. Somebody had fixed up an old bicycle.
With house paint, maybe?
Probably. And those kind of things I remembered, but I guess maybe I must have been a little bit selfish or something, that I worried about not getting the same things as other kids got. But she had a struggle, and of course it was after I got older and realized what a struggle she did have raising 6 kids, and she did all right.
She did.
There were a lot of others around that were poor too, but our next door neighbor, we thought they were really rich. Mm-hmm. I remember when they had a refrigerator with ice cubes, and I just loved to go there and have some lemonade with ice cubes in it. Because we just had an old ice box. people across the street that helped us. Always helped. My mother sent my oldest brother on a mission. I mean, we've always had nice Christmases, raising all three of you kids.
You did.
We always had great Christmases.